Welcome to the UMO Coaches Show. I'm Michael Robertson for the Trojans Sports Network, here with UMO men's soccer head coach Sean Brennan. And Coach, boy, do we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
Not only did we miss a show last week because of the weather that happened, but also plenty of action going on for your team. We'll start first with the victory at King. I'll start off first. We'll break this game into kind of two parts. The first part of the game, how did you feel about your team? You were able to really stay in there in a game that was on the road and looked like conditions maybe weren't the most favorable either.
Yeah, well, King was very good, and they came out strong, and they were all over us from the beginning. But I thought we handled it well. We showed a lot of fight and a lot of desire to hang in the game when King had a lot of the ball. So I wasn't terribly upset with our play, but every time we did something well, they would counter us and do something well. So it was a difficult start.
Well, you talked about that. It looked like maybe there was a break coming. You were able to find out or get a situation where King was sent down to 10 men with a player getting sent off. But then right after that, King comes back and gets a goal to go up 3-2. How did that feel, and how did you feel about the team at that point? Of course, not knowing what was coming.
Sure. Well, it's funny, sometimes when you get a red card, you actually play better because you know that you're down and you have to work harder, and that's what happened. They were actually better when they went to 10 men, and it was devastating to get that goal to make it 2-2, and then to go right back, and get scored on literally about 30 seconds later to go down 3-2. It was absolutely devastating, and it looked like a long way out of a hole at that point.
Well, now let's talk about the final 2 minutes of the game, where you have a situation where you get a penalty kick, and stepping up and scoring it is Kenny. And then after that, just kind of talk about the sequence of events. I know sometimes, maybe even for you, it was just all a blur. But then going from there and then being able to move ahead and then even getting the brace after that.
Yeah, so we were pushing, obviously when we were down 3-2, and we pretty much thrown everything at King that we could at that point. And to go 3-3, I didn't even celebrate. I'm quickly changing back to the way we were playing, so we didn't get scored on in the last 2 minutes. And I was thinking overtime, and was perfectly fine with that, up a man. And then we scored in our normal system that we play, and then just from there, just kept going, and it was unbelievable.
Well, I'd like to say congratulations on the first victory here
at
Mount Olive. But after that, then kind of, I guess, some of your celebrations had to be kind of tempered as coming home, having to deal with the weather on first a long trip, but then having to come right into kind of the worst of Hurricane Matthew here in North Carolina, and then being away from your team for such a long time. How tough was that, having to deal with that over this course of this past week?
I think, once we got home and the next day and the sun came up and you realized how bad it truly was, you quickly forget about soccer. Soccer wasn't important. Being away from my team for athletic reasons was not important to me at all. It was about making sure the players were okay. Getting them home was very important to me if we could, because I felt that we were safer here. But just knowing that my guys were okay was the most important thing. You can deal with everything else, but sports just aren't really important when you see what actually happened around here.
Certainly, and you had to make a pretty quick turnaround once you were actually able to come back here, players as well as administration here on campus, and then have to travel down and play North Greenville and get a very favorable result, a 6-0 victory. And you've had now 2 games, 11 goals, which is really outweighing the amount of goals you had earlier on in the season. How big was it to go down there against a similarly matched team in terms of records and go down there and really see a lot of success?
Well, it was an important game for Conference Carolinas because we eliminated them and we put ourselves, as of today, in the conference tournament. And that's really what we want. We want to extend this season for our future and to build on this. So it was a massive 3 points, and to start the way we started, scoring so quickly, it was really good, and the guys are confident, and they're playing well and late in the year, and it's all credit to the players. They've hung in there through a very tough spell, and they're playing some of their best soccer late on.
And you talked about how tough your players have been, having to go through so much kind of strife earlier on in the season. Now you have a game tonight against Chowan, which in a lot of ways does mean a lot and doesn't mean a whole lot, obviously looking immediately forward. So what's kind of the mindset for you and the team going into tonight?
Well, for me, it's a measuring stick because they're going to be in the league next year, and they've done a really good job there over the last 2-3 years. They're a very good team, so it'll be a tough game tonight. It's a good measuring stick for me. For the players, we're going to take this just as a preparation for our next 3 matches, which is Conference Carolina play, and trying to get the most amount of points as we can and climb the table in Conference Carolina. So we're just using this as a jumping board for Saturday.
You talked about the matches further on into the week, and then further on past that, Belmont Abbey coming up this weekend. What do you really know, and what are you guys kind of expecting from the Crusaders?
Well, it's going to be a massive game for both of us because we're right next to each other on the table. If we beat them, we would jump them. We'd climb up into 7th, even closer to 6th now as we continue this climb. So it's going to be a battle, and they know it too. If we were to go in there and steal 3 points, they would be in a little bit of trouble. So they'll throw everything at us, and we will literally throw everything at them, and it'll be a good game.
Well, thanks, Coach, and good luck tonight. Good luck the rest of this week.
Thank you.
You've been watching the UMO Coaches Show here on the Trojans Sports Network.
Exceptional degrees at an exceptional value. That's transforming education. The University of Mount Olive, transforming education, transforming lives. Learn more at umo.edu. That's umo.edu.